Way up in the backwoods down in the hollow. Old boy singing like a dog on a collar. Keeping that chain pulled tight. Waiting on Saturday night. What do y'all know about Hillbilly Deluxe? Nothing. You don't even have to tell me. I know of only a select few. Oh, get into it, boy. It is Saturday night, and I am about to start sipping my second glass of rosé, so I'm feeling silly. Put on, smell good, put on, skinny. Head into town like a NASCAR winner. Cruising back and forth through the Tasty Freeze. What do y'all know about Tasty Freeze? That's where my parents met. Tasty Freeze. I don't even know anything about Tasty Freeze, except that's my parents' origin story. Shoot, boy. Shoot. How you doing today? Listen, I have had myself a busy day, man. Like, I'm whooped with a capital H. Whooped. Okay? Let me tell you about my day. Let me tell you about my life, actually. I feel like it's been so long. I feel like it's been forever since we caught up. We got a lot of catching up to do, girl. Listen, I have recently begun my, I think I'm in my, like, bettering myself era. I don't know. I really never thought I'd get there, but, here I are. Here I are. And here I be. Not too long ago, I kind of just, like, had an epiphany that, like, hey, it'd be kind of cool to be able to still, like, move and, like, walk when I get old. So, I have been working out. I know. Who am I? I have been working out. What's going on? And it's been hard. Okay, let me tell you. All the online girlies were telling me, they were telling me specifically, if you want a exercise routine that doesn't feel like a workout, or if you are not ever like trying to move too much or sweat too much, you should try barre. B-A-R-R-E. Girl. They are lying to us. They are lying. It's a cult, I think, and that's how they recruit people, by straight up lying to your face. Because I started watching, oh shoot, I'll have to figure out what her name is on YouTube. I think it's Action Jacqueline. I think that's what her name is. I'll tag her in the description box below. But I watched her, I think it was like a 30-minute sculpt bar routine or workout or whatever. Honey, the first day I did it, I couldn't get through 15 minutes. All right. Now, listen. You know what? No, I won't make any excuses. I'm out of shape. Okay? I am out of shape. There is no shape because I'm out of it. So yeah, I was burning badly, all right, but it felt good, and that was the first little hint that I was like, okay, maybe this won't be a phase. Maybe I'll actually kind of get into it a little bit. But I was sweating my freaking butt off. You would have thought I ran a marathon. Like, watching the videos, just sitting on your couch and watching the videos, you're like, oh, I could do that. That's not that bad. Oh, my Lord. You would have thought I was a hunk of Lord. It is hard. So I started doing that a few days ago. I think I'm on day 4 of my new life. So I do barre one day, and then the days that I don't do barre, which is every other day. Why am I wording this so weird? How do you say that? How do words work? I do barre, and then the next day I'll walk in the morning. Girl, I've been waking up at 5 a.m. What is happening? Consider me a leaf and consider me turned over. It's crazy. I've never been that girl, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of lovely, and I'm starting to form a superiority complex. It's been literally 3 days. I'm better than everyone. I do more than you in the day. No, but seriously, it's hard. I've been, like, actually, in all seriousness, I talk to my mother a lot about being introspective. I feel like I've always been an almost like over the top introspector. I really like to dig into myself. Ew, I don't like how that sounded. I like to kind of uncover different things about myself that maybe I could work on. I've kind of always done that. And it's been for a plethora of things, because Lord knows it's like a picky pad. I'm like a picky pad. I like to pick different things out and really inspect it and make sure that it's how I want it to be. And so I've always been like that. And recently, the picky pad presented self-discipline to me. And I really started thinking about just the principle of self-discipline. I feel like when I was younger, I was raised religiously, and I feel like that really helped kind of mold me into a very self-disciplined person. My dad, taught me a lot about being very self-disciplined. My mom taught me a lot about being self-disciplined. Like she worked so hard. Whenever she was going to work, she would not miss a day unless somebody died. And so, like, I used to fast for religious purposes, and I used to run every single day. Talk about a past life. But I used to be very self-disciplined, and I feel like for the last 2 years, I've been living my life a bit passively, very passively. And, to be fair, I think that there's been a lot of bull happening in the world and a lot of scary stuff. And so I think that for a lot of people, it's a challenge enough just to get out of bed and do what you need to do to survive. And of all people, baby, I get it. Okay, I get it. Dang, I wasn't trying to go here, but I struggled really badly with depression for a while, and not gonna lie, I still go through bouts of depressive episodes and PTSD. And that if you have that, or if you know someone who struggles with stuff like that, on top of everything going on in the world, you understand it's just not easy. And it's kind of hard to have a balanced lifestyle when you struggle with those things. But for the past couple of years, I've been in a better place, and yet I still have been living passively. And I just kind of realized it's been a while since I've challenged myself. I haven't challenged myself in a long time. And like I said, there are reasons for that. But I realized the other day, there's not really much of a reason anymore. You know what I mean? Like, personally, in my personal day-to-day life, not trying to discredit what's happening in the world at all. But in my personal life, I've just not put my nose to the grindstone and tried hard at something. But I saw a picture of myself I was not happy with, and that really lit the fire. That truly lit the fire for me. I saw that picture and I said, all right. All right, time to do it, I guess. But also I just have been taking that little, self-discipline pearl from that picky pad and trying to nurture it. Just trying to challenge myself, trying to do things consistently that constantly change every day. Or not change, but grow and evolve, I guess is a good way to put that. And part of that is working out or going on walks. So it's been a wild time so far, not gonna lie. It's been lovely. That's why I say it's been wild, because I never have really loved to work out. When I was younger, I was like super into playing basketball for fun or playing baseball for fun, or I would run back in the day, girl. I don't know what was up with that, but but yeah, I don't know. I guess I just thought I wouldn't like it anymore, but I do. Turns out I do enjoy getting my sweat on. It just makes you feel good, man. And I've noticed my energy level is crazy. Now, I'll be the first to say, and I know I'm going to have some haters for saying this. Keep your opinions to yourself, okay? Bigger fish to fry in the world. I am a certified Red Bull girl. I love me some liquid Sour Patch Kid tasting Red Bull. They are just so good to me, and I was pretty dependent on them. Especially working like a 9-to-5 job, you hit the afternoon slump, and nothing in the world compares to the crispy, tingly taste of Red Bull on your tongue at about 3 p.m. Oh, Lord, it's good. I hadn't had one this past week. That's right. I have been not needing it. I'm shocked. I'm actually pretty shooky, to be honest with you. And like, okay, let me tell you about what I did today, because I'm shocked at how much energy I have right now. Let me tell you. So I ended up sleeping in since it's a Saturday, but since I've been waking up so early, my sleep in now is 7 a.m., which is just absurd, and I never would have guessed that I would be this person. Woke up at around 7, drank some coffee, talked to my sweet mother-in-law roommate for a while, and then went on a 2.5 mile walk, girl. I went on a 2.5 mile walk, and it felt like really nice. The weather was lovely. I went down a couple streets in my neighborhood I hadn't ever seen before. And it's, lovely. It was just lovely. And then I got home, and we're having people over tomorrow, so I cleaned, and when I say cleaned, I deep cleaned our whole basement, our whole laundry room, the downstairs bathroom, and the upstairs bathroom, and I got in there. I used to clean houses. I used to clean houses for a little while, which was very interesting, actually. That's reminding me of some stories I could tell y'all. But anyway, so when I say clean, I mean I got in there, okay? And then after I cleaned everything, that took a while, honestly. But after I cleaned, I ended up going for another walk, because I felt like I hadn't, I felt like the morning walk was a little too easy, breezy. So I took another 1.5 mile walk to pick up my rosé, mind you, from the local liquor store. But I walked. I thought, if I want it that bad, I'll walk and get it. And I did, sister. And then I cooked dinner for myself, and I've been relaxing ever since. And I have energy. What's going on? Ugh, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that that exercise creates like endorphins or something? I think I may have been the first person to ever discover that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's been wild. And like, I've been journaling. I mean, I've always been a writer, I guess you could say. I've always written and journaled and like written poetry and stuff like that. I love doing that. And so I started journaling, and I'm like trying to manifest, not trying, I am manifesting, clock it. And so in my journal, I have, kind of, I'm sure y'all have heard about doing this, but if you hadn't, it's basically where you just write down your day hour by hour as if you were living your future life that you dream about. Does that make sense? So like, I wrote about, running my own business and working with my husband because we've worked together in the past and we love it, and work amazing together. And, so I went hour by hour through my future day and kind of just went through what a dream day would look like for me. And I chose to do a dream work day. And then at the end of the day, I write down small wins, and I'm considering the small wins to be anything that I do currently that align with my future day. Because I feel like with each thing that I'm doing that's aligning with what I'm dreaming about is one step closer to getting what I'm dreaming about, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm kind of challenging myself to do like a 30-day challenge, with this journaling thing. And so far, so good. I mean, it's not like anything crazy, but, it just helps to get stuff written out on paper. Also, sorry if you hear anything in the background. Louis is down here with me, and he's in the mood to play with a toy. But yeah, anywho, so John and I went on vacation a couple weeks ago. We never really got a honeymoon, so we got married June of 2024, and we decided let's do kind of a makeup honeymoon. We also haven't been on like a couple trip since 2019, dude. It's been so long, and it felt so good. It felt so good. We needed it so bad. So the first half of the trip, we didn't do anything. We literally sat in the house, cooked together, drank together, played games, watched so much Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and that's it. But then the second half of the vacation, we did get out of the house finally, and like we were by a beach, so we went to the beach for a few hours every day. We went on walks together. We went out to eat. His best friend happened to be out there at the same time with his partner, who we really liked too. So we ended up having a double date with them one night. It was lovely. It was absolutely stunning. We got up early one morning because I love to watch the sunrise at the beach. So we woke up really early one morning and went and did that. And we got to see so many little sea creatures. We saw jellyfish. We saw a skate randomly, which was like, what? I hadn't seen one of those in the wild. Actually, yes, I have. But it's been a while. And then we saw ducks. We saw albatross. Ate some good food, boy. I tell y'all what, we were trying to like have as much fun as we could, so we wanted to budget our meals and cook at home as much as possible, which we love doing. So like it wasn't like we had to cook at home. No, it was fun. However, I unlocked a new recipe that I just like straight off the demi-dum came up with, and oh, no words. It is so good. It's chicken piccata sandwich, and I'll hook y'all up with the recipe at the end of the episode, but we literally ate the same thing. I'd say probably 90% of the time that we were there. Y'all, you'll understand once I describe it to you, but it was really good. We did end up on our double date. Hold up. Before the double date, John and I went to a solo date to happy hour at this place called the Blue Hen. Oh, Lord, they have the best fried chicken I have ever had in my life. And that is very, very, very much a big deal coming from me, okay? I literally used to be called Katie Fried Chicken Cantley. My family calls me that because my mama makes some darn good fried chicken, okay? I have always loved her fried chicken the most, and I do apologize, and I've told her this already, and I hate to say it, Mama, I do, but you just have to experience it to know what I mean. It is different, okay? It is so good. So we ended up getting some oysters there too, and it was lovely. I will say though, I wanted to try something new. This is on me. I think I picked this. Maybe John did, but we wanted to get a little appetizer, and so we picked this salmon crudité. Yo, it was literally raw salmon, and you'll never guess what was in the bowl with it. Go ahead, think about it for a couple seconds. Okay, so you're probably thinking like some sort of maybe a onion, green onion, or maybe even a crispy onion on top, or even maybe like a fruit or something, like a mango. That sounds fresh. Y'all, it was buttermilk. It was raw salmon slices in buttermilk. Now, whoever came up with that knows they're wrong. They know they're wrong for that. That was crazy and not even good. And it came with cherries. Salmon, buttermilk, and cherries. Imagine that on your tongue. Yeah, pretty gross. But then once we went on our double date, which was super fun, they ended up having like this little, I don't want to call it a speakeasy because I don't think it was a speakeasy, but it might have been a speakeasy. I don't know. It was like a really dark room, like sectioned off on the west of the restaurant. So I don't know what it was, but they had this creme brulee martini, and our friend ordered one, and they brought it out, and they had the thickest piece of, I guess it was like hardened sugar or something. I guess it was like supposed to be emulating like the hard top of a creme brulee, but it was literally, it looked like a piece of thick glass on the top of his cup, and the waiter had to hammer it to like crack it for him, and it wouldn't break, y'all. It wouldn't break. And so our friend was like, can I hold the cup for you? Like, and mind you, my husband and his best friend both work in like the food industry and are both servers too. And so they were just really feeling for this dude. And so he was like, can I hold it for you? And the dude said, no, I can't let you hold it. So he sat there for so long trying to get it cracked. He did get it, but that was comical. And then they had something called, I think they were calling it Willy Wonka's Scrumptious Creations or something. And I was dying at the name. And so our friend's partner ended up asking to hear about Willy Wonka's Scrumptious Selection because they didn't have a description. It said you have to ask about it. And so they end up bringing it out, and I'm not joking, y'all. It was Jello shots, except they just like put them into molds to make them fancier, I guess. It was a hoot. It was a time. It was fun. But gimmick. Talk about gimmick with a capital G. Now, one day, John and I ended up going on a bike ride. And there's like trails that you can walk or bike on that lead to the bay by the beach. And it's about like 2.5 miles or so from the place we were staying. So I knew I was in for about like 5 miles or something. Now, mind you, this was before the leaf turned over and I started working out, okay? And so I knew I was in for the 5 miles, and I was like, okay, I can do that. On a bike, that's not that bad. Like, yeah. So we take off, we're seeing turtles, I saw a crab, horseshoe crabs, like, it was a lot of fun, we're doing great. Now, our first mistake was not eating anything before we left the house. Our second mistake was taking one water bottle. By the time we end up getting closer back to home, I'm like needing some water. I'm starving. I could eat my freaking arm off. And so we're almost home. We're probably maybe a half mile from home or something like that. John says, hey, let's go this way instead of the way we came. And I said, John, listen to me. If it isn't a shortcut, I don't want to take it. If it is not a shorter route, I don't want to go. I'm tired and I'm hungry. And he said, oh, well, it's a shortcut. It's a shortcut. It'll be okay. Now, this was the third mistake. In my head, I kind of knew he was BSing me, because I know my husband. But I thought, okay, I mean, I kind of know where we're at. Like, it can't be that much further. Y'all. I started getting that racing heart that you get and like dry arse lips you get when you're about to pass out. And we got like maybe a mile further, and I said, oh my Lord, John, this is not a shortcut. I started throwing a whole fit, and I said, this isn't a freaking shortcut. You said it was a shortcut. And he said, oh, we're almost there. And I was like, you said that literally like 3 miles ago, brother. I'm ready to go home. And I said, if I fall off my bike, don't even call 911. It was ridiculous. I threw a whole fit. Anyway, ended up getting home and eating and drinking water, and I was like right as rain. But it's so funny because we realized after we got back home and like calmed down, I was like, dang, it really isn't a John and Katie outing without you trying to push too hard and me throwing a fit about it. I'll never forget when we were younger. I think we couldn't have been more than 18, but we were probably even maybe younger than that. We were around that age. Anyway, John is the type of guy who loves to hike, kayak, explore. Like, he just loves being outside, but he especially loves to hike. That man loves to walk. That man loves to walk uphill, which what in tarnation is that about? And like, don't get it twisted. I love being outside. I do. And I understand I turned a new leaf, and I've been liking working out and walking and stuff like that. But hiking has never been really my thing. And to be fair, before this story that I'm about to tell you occurred, I had never actually been hiking. Okay, I had gone on like a couple of woodland walks, let's call them. I had never hiked before. So when we were younger, John said, we actually created a whole week of vacation, different vacations. So like the first day, I think we ended up going to New York for a day trip because I had never been before. And then we rested the day after. Then the next day, we ended up going on a day trip to the beach. Then we rested the day after. And then I think the last day was the hike. I didn't know what I was signing up for. But what we did was we hiked 15 miles up the Appalachian Mountains in one day, camped out, and then walked or hiked 15 miles back down the Appalachian Mountains the next day. Lordy, lordy. I was in hell. I have never experienced pain like I felt in that weekend. It was crazy intense. And for a first time freaking hiker, you think that's the hike to take them on? Brother, it was brutal. It was brutal. It was wild. And I remember my now sister-in-law lent me a women's hiking backpack. And God love her. Okay, this is not her fault. I was an idiot kid who had never done this before. But she lent me this women's hiking backpack, and I remember when she gave it to me, she said, oh, this is like built to fit like on your hips in a certain way that like unisex hiking backpacks maybe don't. It makes you feel like you're not even carrying anything. And I took that so literally. I was like, oh, okay, this will be so easy. Nope. It was so heavy. And I remember thinking, oh, she's a liar. Oh, my word. I was struggling up that mountain so bad. And I remember being such a baby about it. Like I wasn't mean or anything. I was just taking so many breaks and probably not being the most fun to be around. Just like, what are we doing this for? This is crazy. This is crazy. Am I being like punked? I thought it was just absurd. And then once we finally and listen, I'm getting ahead of myself. We stopped along the way to eat lunch, and if you're into hiking and all that or camping, you know about the astronaut food that you have to eat, that like you cook in a tiny little pot over a little flame or whatever, kerosene flame. That was wild. I didn't know any of that was going to happen at all. This was all a very new thing for me. And so once we ate that, I think we had mashed potatoes too. I was like, this is something else. But then we got to the actual like camp spot at the top of the mountain and set up our tent. There was like a Boy Scout troop, I think, also staying there. And their leader, is that what you call them? they're whoever's in charge of them ended up coming over and being like, hey, you guys will probably want to put your stuff on the bear hook. And I said, what is a bear hook? And apparently they had spotted a bear that day in the same campground that we were staying in. Oh. Now listen, I'm not a city girl. I'm not. But I am not a wood girl either. I am not made for the mountains, and the mountains ain't made for me, honey. I was tossing and turning at every little scratch, every little sound, every little peep in the woods. I thought we were about to get our butts torn up Revenant style. I was so terrified. Oh, that was crazy. It's like a great memory now for us, but in the moment, do y'all know about the toilet situation up in the woods like that? If you know, you know. If you don't, I promise you don't want to know. Oh, that was an experience for sure. Anywho, let me tell you what I've been listening to, okay? I have gone past the 70s, and I am now back kind of in, like, I would say maybe if you're a millennial who was in the club, maybe if you're like on my end of Gen Z who was listening to things you shouldn't have been whenever you were far too young, that kind of music, okay? I am really getting into, like, I don't know if it's recession era. I think it's earlier than all that. But hip hop. What do y'all know about Chicken Head? What do you know about freaking Chicken Head by Project Pat? I have been listening to that lately. I haven't heard it in years, literal years. It unlocked, I got that memory unlocked because there's some little girl, some little white girl in a Mexican restaurant going bar for bar singing that song into a microphone. And first of all, iconic, we love her. But I downloaded that song because I was like, oh my gosh, how have I not thought about that in so long? I re-downloaded that song after like decades, and have been starting out my morning walks with it, and it's it goes hard, okay? If you haven't listened to it, give it a chance. It's great. Okay, here is another one that I have been really, really liking. Really, really liking. How about Tokyo Drift by the Teriyaki Boys? That's a great one. Getting back into Never Be Like You by Flume. Now that one is it's 20, like, I think 16 or something. But I forgot about that, and it makes me feel like I'm levitating when I listen to it. What about Blueberry Yum Yum? Now, if you have ever smoked in your life, you'll understand that vibe. Another really good one that I have been having on repeat, The Subway by Chapel Roan. That's a brand new one, brand spanking new, and it is wonderful. That girl can do no wrong. I love her. Breaking Dishes by Rihanna. That's a really good one. Now, listen, I'm probably going to get some hate for this, but Somebody to Love by Justin Bieber goes really hard. I really like that song. Sue me. I really like that song. Watch, sue me. Honestly, anything by Rihanna. I've been listening to Man Down a lot, or Woo from Anti. So good. So freaking good. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I'm always trying to listen to new stuff. What have I been munching on? What have I been shoving down my pile? Oh, those chicken piccata sandwiches. Let me tell you about them. So I make focaccia. I think I've talked about it before. However, I have been leveling up my focaccia game. And so now I add Calabrian chili peppers to the top of it before I bake it. It is succulent, and it brings so much flavor. It's so tasty, so good. So for those sandwiches, I make my own focaccia. I know that's extra. You can just use regular bread. I've done that too, and it's still good. But I made my own focaccia, cut it in half, put some mayo on there, put some very thinly sliced red onions, and this is gonna be divisive. It is completely optional. I like a caper. I put some capers on there. And then for the chicken, what do? I get some eggs in one Tupperware, and then in another Tupperware I get panko breadcrumbs, season them up real good, okay? Don't want to have no bland chicken. We don't do that around here. So I season it usually with all the usual suspects: garlic, onion, paprika. Sorry, I'm talking about spices. Garlic powder, onion powder, for those who don't know, paprika, cayenne, Tony Chachere's, of course. I think that's everything. And then I add in a handful of Parmesan, mix it all together. Then you dip your chicken thighs. I do thighs. I don't like no dry breast. Dip your chicken thigh in the egg, then dip it in the panko and cover it well. Okay, you don't want any bald spots on that chicken. That's a nest. So then you, over medium heat, maybe slightly medium high, put some olive oil, or honestly, actually, I would probably do canola or some other neutral oil with a higher smoke point. Get that ripping hot. Then you put your chicken in, cook it till it's done, slap it on the sandwich, and then add some sort of green, and if you'd like, tomato, and you're done, hun. And it is so good. Don't sleep on it. Wait, you're not done. Add a squeeze of lemon on the chicken. Add a little squeeze of lemon. It does add something, okay? It is so good. Like, ridiculous. And that's what we ate most of our vacation. Now, the other thing that I've been cooking, besides the Calabrian chili focaccia, which is absurd, is gonna be, Calabrian chili pasta. I've been obsessed with those Calabrian chilies. So, for the pasta, here's what you're going to want to do. And I will preface this with saying this is not a recipe for everybody, okay? I know some people in my life that would hate this. If you like spicy, though, and some interesting little zingy flavor, I think you'll like it. So here's what you do. Oven-safe dish. Get some cherry or grape tomatoes. Are those the same thing? What's the difference? Truly, I do not know. But get, little tomatoes. Put them in the dish. Then get an onion. A yellow onion is preferred. And honestly, the onion is optional in the first place. You don't have to do it. I just like it. And usually I use about 1/4 of an onion, rough chop it, throw it in there. Then get a whole lemon, peel that sucker and put the peel in there. No lemon juice in there. Not yet, but save that lemon. Then get a whole bulb of garlic, slice it so that the ends are exposed, pour olive oil over everything, but especially the garlic. Season with salt and pepper and anything else if you want to. And then put it in the oven. I usually do 400 for like 45 minutes or until the garlic is like softened. Take it out, put it in a blender, blend it up with a few knobs of butter. I would say maybe 2.5 tablespoons of butter and some pasta water. Blend it up so that it's a nice creamy sauce. Put it back in the pot with the pasta, toss it together, sprinkle with Parmesan and some fresh cracked black pepper. And if you'd like to, you can sprinkle on a little fresh basil. Oh, it's good. It's good. Everybody say amen. It's good. Oh, and whenever you blend it up in the blender, add that lemon. Squeeze the whole lemon in there. You will not regret it. It tastes like summertime. It is so good. And of course I can put those, recipes either in the description box or maybe on my Instagram. I might make you work for it. Psych, I'll probably put it in the description box. All right. I've been talking for a while. I've had a long day. I'm ready to finish this little glass of rosé that I hadn't even sipped on. And I'm gonna go to bed. I hope you sleep so good tonight. I hope that you have the sweetest dreams you ever had in your darn life. I hope that you sleep snug as a bug in a rug, and I hope all your dreams come true. Love you. Bye-bye.